Salute to the Mo. Hello world. Today I'll be reviewing my 2018 Ford F-150 Lariat FX4 with the Sport package and the Max Tow package. Now please keep in mind that I am not a car channel. There's some awesome car channels out there that have professional editors and all those other things. You know, I'm reviewing this. It's actually quite spontaneous, like a lot of my adventures on my channel. I'm reviewing this because this will be featured in a lot of my future episodes. I no longer have my Beast. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, you would have to check my very early videos when I traveled across the country. But now I'll be doing a lot of overlanding, multi-day backpacking and all that, and this is my vehicle of choice. Um, so I'll be going over a lot of the specs on the truck. Certain detailed specs I will not be going over. You could find that on the internet or you could find that on other review channels. But this is an ownership review. Also, you'll see that I do have some upgrades on the vehicle and I'll be going over those as well. So I'll start off with the wheels and tires. So these are fuel sledge wheels. The tire size is 285/60 R20. I usually have them running at around 385 kPa for tire pressure. I believe the max is 450, but I'm not towing anything really heavy at the moment. So, and it's just an F-150. It's not an F-250 or F-350, so there's no reason for me to be running such high pressures. So 385 kPa is where I run it to at roughly. And the tires are BF Goodrich KO2s. I've had the original BF Goodrich KOs before. I've had different tires, and these BF Goodrich KOs, at least the KO series, the KO2s, I think there's a KO3 now. These are awesome tires. So they're a little bit larger than what the factory specs are. Also, some guys that do a lift or a leveling kit, they cut out their crash bars. I didn't cut mine out. I would never do something like that. I mean, just for the sake of running bigger tires and wheels and altering the structural component of your vehicle, I think that's a freaking dumbass move. But hey, everybody does whatever they want, right? It's up to you. Also, you'll notice, if you look at side profile, the tires do stick out just a touch. I like that look. I don't like the look of it sticking out far too much, like 5, 6, 7 centimeters. That's just plain, I'm not into that at all. That's, hey, I mean, like I said, if that's your thing, that's your thing. But that's not for me. I hate that roller skate look. One of the things I'll also go over is it does have the graphics package. That's the sport appearance package, which includes these graphics. At first, I didn't like it. I was thinking of removing it when I received the truck, but now I do like it. It actually looks pretty good. One of the unfortunate downsides is with UV and everything, they do start to fade, as you'll see on the hood here. Along the sides, it's not too bad, but on the hood, it faded quite a bit. Also, you'll see that a lot of the lettering is accented in red. And it does have the FX4. It does have the FX4 decals. As far as what I've owned previously, this is my second F-150. I've also owned 2 Dodge Rams, and I'll be making references to my previous vehicles that I've owned. Also, some vehicles that I did consider before purchasing this. And again, this is an ownership review, so some of these review channels, they talk a lot about vehicles when they're brand spanking new, like a 2024 and all that. Now, I'm giving a review based on ownership. I purchased this and I've used it and I use it every single day. I've done a lot of things with it, so I'll tell you the things that have failed, the things that I really like that have been useful for me, and perhaps it'll have you think about whether you would consider a vehicle like this or something else. Now, it does have mud flaps in the back, which normally I don't like having mud flaps on a truck, but these KO2s, they really throw out some gravel and dust and dirt and everything like that. So it was a good choice to have them, but I only have them in the back. I do not have them in the front. I spent the whole weekend detailing this truck, so you'll see I did paint the frame. I didn't do that great of a job. I was kind of rushed, but so I do have some runs on the frame. Doesn't really matter. I just do that once a year just to protect the frame. Normally I take the wheels off, but I didn't do that this time. I'll be doing that next time. But I got the essentials done. This does have the max tow package. So it has the leaf springs are 2 plus 1. So 2 regular leaf springs plus the overload. 3 in total. One of the ways you could also tell that this has the max tow package is looking at the angle of the hitch. It also says on the hitch as well, but mine is faded a long time ago. I can't remember offhand, but I believe my rear end gear ratio is 355 to 1, and it is an electronic locking differential. And going back to the side profile, you'll notice it has a slight lift. Has a slight lift above factory specs. The ground clearance remains the same, actually. I measured the ground clearance, and it's still the same as what I had it before the mild lift. It does have the blind spot radar, which comes in useful, but I'm an old school guy. I mean, I shoulder check before I change lanes anyways. There are times when I just simply don't trust technology and I trust my own eyes more. It has a squared off exhaust tip. That's factory. I mean, that just comes with the truck. Now I'll talk a little bit about some of the other features. So here you'll see there are 2 cameras, and the release button is just up here. This little plug here is for the spare tire, which is locked up. This is just your standard pin for when you're towing. And there are backup sensors here. I have a little decal here that says Eco Beast, just for fun, and I'll explain that in a moment. And I did have a decal here that said twin turbo. I'll actually show it to you. It came off yesterday when I was detailing the truck. Oh, where the hell did it go? And yes, I'll be going over the interior in just a moment. Oh, bloody hell, I don't know where the hell it went now. Shit. Okay. But I did have a decal here that said twin turbo. Originally, there's an EcoBoost decal here. I just replaced it with a twin turbo decal and EcoBeast on the driver's side. One of the things I don't like, I think it should be standard that all fuel doors are lockable. You know, especially given all the vandalism that's going on these days, especially with the climate change activists deflating people's tires on their SUVs and trucks and filling up the fuel tank with sugar and shit like that. Just degenerate behavior. I mean, for security measures, they should have a locking fuel door. Despite the max towing package, this does not have tow mirrors. I would have preferred to have tow mirrors, but these mirrors are all right. There's also a little LED that lights up here when there's somebody in my blind spot. That's from the blind spot radar. Which is just right behind here. All the lights on the truck are all LEDs. So LED fog lamps, LED low beams, high beams, LED turn signals, and there's an LED DRL that goes around here. You'll also notice if you look deep inside, I don't know if it'll show in the video, this has active grille shutters in the front grille and in the lower section here, right in front of the intercooler. This is the block heater. Not necessarily required here on Vancouver Island, but definitely required in other parts of Canada. This is a camera here, and it is extremely useful. These are just factory fender flares. I didn't need to get any additional fender flares. I just have a shorty antenna. I don't really listen to the radio or anything like that. These light up. That's your turn signal. Underneath there's an LED and a camera. And I'll show in a moment when I go over the interior. The cameras are actually pretty damn useful, especially when going off-road. So to unlock the lockable tailgate, there's a little button underneath here. I just push up, and it's fairly light tailgate. I mean, the whole entire truck is aluminum. And it does have the tailgate step. I do have a lock on the tailgate, as you can see here. This right here is a lock on the tailgate. So if I'm driving around with the tailgate down, it's not like somebody could just up and leave with my tailgate, because these are bloody expensive. Tailgate theft is a major deal here. Actually, I think it's a major deal anywhere. But for the tailgate step here, and I thought at first this was a novelty, but this is not. So I had a 2004 F-150 FX4 back when the FX4 was an actual package. And my truck back then did not have this. And then I briefly had a 2011 with a 5-liter. That didn't have this either. So this is my first truck with the tailgate step, and I could tell you this is awesome. And as you can see here, it'll hold about 160 kilos. My fighting weight is 92 kilos. I'm a little short on that right now. I'm running around 88 kilos, but still, that's enough. That's enough weight capacity to hold myself and my tools and everything else. So pull this out all the way, lift up, and you'll hear it click into place. And it is very useful. Getting in and out of the bed of the truck is fairly easy now. Now, as far as I know, a lot of the other manufacturers have tried to follow suit with their own methods. Ram and General Motors have their own version of a tailgate access. But from what I've seen so far, this is probably the best, at least for me. Now, I have here a locking tonneau cover. This is G2. This is a backflip fiber G2. And it does lock. Now, to unlock it, there's a little string. You pull that, and it'll unlock it. It's a folding tonneau cover. And I have the 2 meter long bed. That's one of the things that is a major thing for me, because my previous trucks had the 1.7 meter bed, and once I load in my tools, basically the truck was full. And this is a bit of a beast to find parking spots and things like that, taking wide turns, but you do get used to it. Um, and going back to the tonneau cover, no tonneau cover is perfectly secure as far as theft. I mean, you could still break into these. Some are much more secure than others. I've never had an issue. I haven't had a break-in, surprisingly, and I hope it stays that way. But and they're not completely waterproof either. Water does get in, and you'll see there's a lot of wear and tear in the truck. Like I said, there's 100,000 kilometers on the truck, but so far everything is all the accessories wise, I should say, everything's quite well. Now, this does lock in stages, so this next fold I have to unlock, and because this is the fiber, now you could get these in different models. These backflip tonneau covers come in different models. This one is the fiberglass one, so it is a little bit heavier than the aluminum one. So it folds in different sections, and then I can lock, if I wanted to drive around and secure it, I could lock that so this doesn't fly backwards. Oh, this one doesn't quite reach. But I don't normally drive like this anyways. I almost always drive with the tonneau closed, simply because I have a lot of things in here. Also, you'll see there's rubber padding here. That's because if I wanted to, I'll unlock it first. If I wanted to drive with the whole thing up, this padding prevents it from destroying your rear glass. And that will lock that into place. But I rarely, if ever, drive in this configuration. And for the most part, this has never really failed me, this backflip. It's bloody expensive, I'll tell you that, but most tonneau covers of quality are expensive. A lot of people will say different things: buy nice, or buy twice, or buy once, cry once, and I agree with that. I'm also going to do a nighttime video. I'd like to really show off the truck during the evening, because it is something to see as well. This does have the bedside LEDs, so here's a button here. That lights up the bed. There are only two lights, one right here and one right here, but they are bright. And it also has the box side cleat system. This is pretty damn useful. Aside from that, you have your regular cleats at all four corners, right here. And right here on each side. And if you're wondering what this little hose is, that's to drain the water. That's to drain the water that forms in the water channels on this tonneau cover. It helps keep everything in the bed dry, but when it does rain heavily, water still gets in. This is my windage tray. This is the factory windage tray. I took it off just to paint the frame. This is not a skid plate. People think this is a skid plate. No, this is just a windage tray. It's for aerodynamics and a little bit of protection and sound deadening. It's not actually a skid plate at all. And it's also, this is not the factory bedliner. I did not opt for the factory bedliner because the price of the factory bedliner is not much different from the price of an aftermarket spray-in bedliner. And I went with the aftermarket spray-in bedliner. This is Line-X, and it was almost the same damn price. And the Line-X to me is much better. It is much thicker of a material than the material from the Ford factory spray-in bedliner. Also, one of the things I have to say is this tonneau cover. This tonneau cover has a weight rating, I believe, of around 190 kilos or something like that. So you could actually step on it and put a load on top of it as long as it's evenly distributed. And yeah, once I closed it, it's not going anywhere. Again, I'm at my current weight. I weigh myself every single day. I'm currently at 88 kilos right out of the shower. So right now I'm probably around 89 kilos, although I haven't had breakfast yet. So here I am standing on it, and it does flex. I mean, it does flex when I'm stepping on it, but I wouldn't jump on it, and I don't trust putting a heavy load on it, even though it is apparently rated for significant weight. Part of the Lariat package is it does have a sliding glass in the back, sliding glass window. This here is a Bridgeport utility spoiler. So this spoiler allows me to, you'll see this sometimes, the people put a sweater or something when they're laying lumber down, and it's coming at an angle, so they'll have one end of say lumber pipe or anything long. Instead of having it stick out the ass end of the bed, they have it over the cab, so they'll have one long piece, let's say some lumber, and they'll put a sweater on top here and strap everything down. Now, this here is actually wide enough perfectly for a ladder, and there are little bumps here so things don't go side to side. I really like this a lot. I mean, not just for the looks. It uses two-sided adhesive, which is very strong, and it provides a little bit of cover for the infamous water leak prone third brake light. But more importantly, it does have a function, being able to secure longer loads over the cab of the truck. It is useful. I also have here a Northern Ridge cargo top carrier. I can't remember exactly the capacity. I think it's something like 450 liters or 400 liters. I can't remember, something like that. But this cargo top carrier, I've taken this across the country on my old vehicle, on my Beast, which I no longer have. I should mention, the name of my truck, I named her Cuddle Buddy. That's just the name of my truck. Just something I wanted to name. I usually name my vehicle, all my vehicles, I should say. So to release the tailgate step, see here, number one, you push this down. I'm trying to do this one-handed. Push this down and push it in. And this just slides into place. That's locked up. Yeah, the tailgate's fairly light. I mean, the whole entire truck is aluminum. Going back to the cargo top carrier, yes, this is a Northern Ridge model. It opens up from both sides. Now my truck is over 2 meters tall. So getting to the top of this requires me to step onto the sill just to access everything. But I'm able to, at least at my height. So both the passenger side and driver side are accessible through a lock here. And I also have a Menabo roof rack. I believe the load capacity is stated at 75 kilos each, so 150 kilos together, and that's of course with a distributed load. I looked at other units from different brands, Yakima, Thule I should say, Rhino Rack, and those are all great brands. This Menabo was the least expensive, and the build quality was surprisingly good. There was only one part here where the foot does not, on this particular side, the foot did not latch very well onto the or the pad did not latch very well onto the foot, and it actually, one of the tabs actually broke, but it's still very, very secure. Like when I shake it, I'm shaking the whole truck, and it is lockable. I have the whole thing locked up, and it's extremely useful. Yeah, I can't remember, is it 400 liters or 450 liters, something like that, but having a roof rack and a cargo top carrier, this is awesome for road trips. And I will be having road trips in my future videos. But yeah, that's those are some of the aftermarket accessories that I have. Now, you're probably wondering why I have a tape measure here. I was going to measure off the ground clearance, and I was going to measure off the height of the lift off the wheel wells, from the top of the wheel well to the bottom of the tire. I'm not going to do that. It's kind of difficult for me to do that with one hand, and I'm just an independent indie YouTube content creator, so it's not like I have a production crew or guys to give me a hand. I'm just filming this randomly. Again, you'll be seeing a lot of this vehicle in my future videos. You'll be seeing a lot of Cuddle Buddy in my future videos, but if you do want me to discuss the lift and everything like that, leave it in the comments section below. One of the things I have to say, like I said, every single light on this vehicle is LED. The only light that came from the factory as non-LED were the license plate lights, and I did replace them with LEDs. Now, I did I did try to film this video originally using my GoPro, but I couldn't even get 30 seconds out of my GoPro. It's been fucking up since I purchased it. So I am filming this using my Sony Xperia 1 Mark IV. It's still filming in 4K, but if I had my GoPro functioning like it should, then I'd be able to give you a better quality video overall. But if you're liking this video so far, please watch to the end. I mean, and please comment, like, subscribe, share. I'll just be discussing again all of that in towards the end of the video.